Good evening, Kenton community. My name is Sabatino Samato. I'm your superintendent, and this is your weekly connection update. So this week in the text version of the connection, these are some important things to look for. First, there's a board meeting recap, and in that, I really talk about what I presented to our Board of Education and our community this past Tuesday evening at the board meeting. I focused on our capital improvement project. Right now, folks, the reality of our capital improvement, we've seen how inflation is throughout our entire society and the impacts that it's had on our capital improvement. I really encourage everyone to read that article and to even watch that update from Tuesday evening that we linked right in the text version of the connection. Also, I talked about some of our safety and security initiatives that we have going on throughout the district, and I want our entire community to be really pay close attention to how some of those procedures are going to be implemented throughout the year. Some recent procedures, random wanding at our high schools, and all of our community has done such a tremendous job. Especially thank you to all of our kiddos that have really done great work during these times. And folks, these are all layers of mitigation, and that's what we talk about here. They're not as a result of, they're as our ways to be as preventative as possible. So as we're talking about ways to be preventative, just a side note that you won't find in our text connection that I really wanted to focus on, especially with our high school families, students coming to school on time. I've been at the high schools a lot during this past month, and I want to tell you there are way too many tardies going on in our school district. Folks, just understand the consistency of that. If a child is late to school, they're always late for their first period class. They're also not getting into that routine that's so needed that we know as in our adult lives, we need that routine every day. Please make sure that we make this a focus with all of our families, with all of our students, making sure we're in school on time every day, ready to learn. And thank you very much, kiddos, for all your work making sure that happens. Then we have our section on our school and district highlights. This week we have about our new district harvest festival. Read about that. Our new hot chocolate machines deployed to our elementary schools. Kenton welcomes German exchange students. There's a piece on that. We even have staff. The following staff: Mr. Belenka, Miss Caruana, Miss Borghese, Miss Carr, Miss Craig, and Miss McCartney, that are our staff that have spoken, that were invited to speak at our Regional Professional Development Conference. Read about that story. We even have a piece in there about Miss Coley and her Hoover Middle School class, how they prepare soup, delicious soup, for the staff at Hoover Middle that want to participate. There's a piece in there on that. Also, Kenmore-West and how the girls soccer team had their players really show their appreciation for individual staff members. You see a piece on that there. And finally, we round off our school and district highlights with our firefighters teach Hoover Elementary students about fire prevention, a really nice piece there. And then that brings us to our recognition section of the connection. Our recognition this week is none other than our Board of Education. Folks, next week we celebrate school boards throughout the entire state of New York. It's really important to understand our school board, not only do they donate all of their time, it's an unpaid position, folks. They are just about service to our community. And next week, if you can, and you have a moment, make sure you say thank you to a Board of Education member. And we just realize how lucky we are for the dedication of our Board of Education here in Kenton. Read about that piece in our Board of Education. Our Board of Education members, of course, are none other than our Board President, Mr. Matt Shamara, our Board Vice President, Miss Leslie Battaglia, our trustee, Jennifer Morrow, our trustee, Todd Marcourt, and our trustee, Paul Spores. Thank you very much to our Board of Education for their constant dedication. And we finish this week with our celebrating of Hispanic Heritage Month, celebrating none other than Buffalonian Augustin Puncho Olivencia, who is considered the patriarch of Buffalo's Puerto Rican community. Great, tremendous history here in Buffalo. Read about Mr. Olivencia and all of his contributions to our community as we continue to celebrate our Hispanic Heritage Month. And that's where we end the connection for this week. And folks, I just want to say once again, thank you to all of our community for your dedication. Thank you to our staff. We have a lot going on in the schools weekly, all the time. Really proud of really all of our kiddos and all of our staff for everything that they've been doing. Because together we are Kenton strong, together we are Kenton proud, and we'll keep moving Kenton forward together. Let's have a great weekend.